They're in the gate. And they're off. Very even start. Ghostly Act and Defensor Fortis are both out very alertly. They're joined and passed by 49er Gold, who sprints clear to take over. Bilber and Joe Jonick now moves up to take second. Then it's Ghostly Act and Defensor Fortis. Antibes is toward the back of the field, 5 lengths off the pace, a length and a half in front of Get 'em Dusty. They come to the half-mile pole behind 49er Gold. Bilber and Joe Jonick a length back second, then Ghostly Act in third, followed by Defensor Fortis. Antibes is asked on the inside, moves up to claim the fourth spot, just 4 lengths off the lead, and 3 back to Get 'em Dusty. Around the far turn, 49er Gold on the inside, Bilber and Joe Jonick. These two arrive at the top of the stretch together. 3 lengths back, Ghostly Act and Antibes. They're at the top of the stretch. And at the rail, 49er Gold digging in, trying to turn away Bilber and Joe Jonick. Antibes down on the fence, Ghostly Act on the outside, a 16th to go. It's 49er Gold, Antibes, Ghostly Act battling for second. It will be 49er Gold. 49er Gold wins convincingly. Antibes was second. Then it was Ghostly Act third, and Defensor Fortis finished fourth. Working on Glory of Chrome. And they're off. Sweet Millie and Gunga Gunga Galunga will battle it out for the early lead. Yo-Yo Mama is tugging nicely in between those two. A gap of 4 back to Unkept Secret and Glory of Crow. Down the backstretch, Sweet Millie narrowly in front. Yo-Yo Mama moves up in between rivals, and Gunga Gunga Galunga on the outside third. A gap of 5 to Unkept Secret at the rail, and 4 more to Glory of Chrome. They have 3 furlongs to run, and Sweet Millie to catch. Has it by 2. Gunga Gunga Galunga on the outside, and Yo-Yo Mama sharing second. Still 4 to Unkept Secret as they come toward the quarter pole. Sweet Millie a length and a half. Gunga Gunga Galunga moving in from second, and Unkept Secret, a threatening presence, trying to slip through along the rail, and has done so with 1/8 of a mile to go. Here's Unkept Secret taking command and opening up. From the back of the field, Glory of Chrome is starting to finish with interest, trying to get into second. It is Unkept Secret, clear by 5. Unkept Secret and Jose Valdivia Jr. win it easily. Glory of Chrome was second. Sweet Millie won the photo for third. And they're off in the Pasadena. Stay Hot is out alertly. Island Cruiser sent up on the outside. Lord Bullingdon came away in third. And Guy Named Joe is down at the rail. Island Cruiser is the clear-cut leader into the first turn. Freysu Engel Stay Hot to his outside, and Lord Bullingdon will be wide around the clubhouse turn. Guy Named Joe is just inside of him. 3.5 lengths, covers them all with 5.5 furlongs to run. And it is Island Cruiser, the controlling speed. Has it by 2. Stay Hot, very comfortable in second. At the rail, Guy Named Joe. And Lord Bullingdon's a bit of a handful back there. He's tugging on Umberto Rispoli. Has 3 to make up, while 3 deep. Down the backstretch, Island Cruiser is the boss. Has it a length and a half to Stay Hot in second. Then Lord Bullingdon continuing to be aggressive in third, and Guy Named Joe down on the inside of him. Heading around the far turn, Hector Barrios and Island Cruiser have had it all their own way. Stay Hot poised in second, closing in now. Outside of them, Lord Bullingdon within a length of the pacemaker and Guy Named Joe. A quarter of a mile to go, and Stay Hot makes his move between rivals. Island Cruiser far outside Lord Bullingdon and Guy Named Joe at the rail. There's an eighth of a mile to go, and Stay Hot takes the lead. Guy Named Joe running a big race along the inside. Center of the course, Lord Bullingdon past the 16th pole. It's Stay Hot nose and nose with Guy Named Joe. Here's the line. Stay Hot has won the Pasadena. Guy Named Joe ran lights out in defeat. Lord Bullingdon was third. Four to five on the board. Remounts. And they're off. Miss Bo J bounces out alertly. Show Card comes away a joint second. Here's Disposition. And Disposition, with some good debut speed, flies through to battle with Miss Bo J and is quicker than her. Show Card, good trip, 3 off the pace in third. Followed by Vegas Condo and Sweet Gem. It's Disposition passing the half-mile pole with a clear-cut lead. It's a length and a half to Miss Bo J in second. 2 more to Show Card, single file third. Vegas Condo, 9 off the lead. 3 more back to Sweet Gem. They're coming to the quarter pole, chasing Disposition, who's been there throughout, leading the way just under a length. In second, Miss Bo J. Show Card, Pink Cap, looms up menacingly now, and Show Card, confidently handled at the quarter pole, is trying to get to Disposition, who's digging in at the rail. Between those two, Miss Bo J, and now Show Card takes over. Vegas Condo finishing with interest, angling to the far outside, but Show Card spurts away, and it's Show Card, much the best, striding out to win by 4 lengths. Miss Bo J was second. Tight photo for third between Disposition and Vegas Condo. And Dory Miller. They're in the gate. And they're off. Clubhouse Bride is the early leader. On the outside, Can't Sleep is flashing good speed, and the Shashala is in between them, moving up to take second. Panda Peak is fourth, now third, moving through along the inside. Then it's a gap of 3. Crown of Hope is racing between horses. Quick Kate at the rail, recalcitrant between those two. Dory Miller is 5 lengths off the lead, and Shamrockin' is at the back. It's Clubhouse Bride, who has gone past the half-mile pole. Here comes the Shashala to engage in second. The Shashala very keen, pressing Clubhouse Bride around the far turn. Can't Sleep, 3 off the pace at the rail. Panda Peak is next. Then comes Dory Miller, widest of all. Here's Quick Kate, starting to pick up some momentum, has 5 to make up at the quarter pole. Recalcitrant is awaiting some racing room. They're at the top of the stretch, and Clubhouse Bride goes on and opens up. Clubhouse Bride suddenly 4 in front. Here's Can't Sleep starting to kick in now, and from the back, Shamrockin' has surfaced and is flying home late. Clubhouse Bride, here comes Shamrockin' on the outside. It's going to get close, and Shamrockin' from last to first under Giovanni Franco. Clubhouse Bride was second. Behind them, a battle between Can't Sleep and Quick Kate, followed by Recalcitrant. Time 1:15.39. It's official. Up next, the 6th. It kicks off the late pick 4. Number 1, I Don't Get It, is a set. And they're off. Very clean start. And 5th Street comes out with sharp early speed. Matanzas Creek came away in good order. And down at the rail, Pop Doro is a close-up third. Havildar and Hey Brother right together, and 3 more to I Don't Get It. Three of them vying for the lead. It's Pop Doro at the rail, 5th Street in between, and Matanzas Creek just a neck back third. Three more. Hey Brother is in fourth. Havildar's Gray about 5 off the lead now and 2 in front of I Don't Get It. They have 3/8 of a mile to go. And it's Pop Doro, Matanzas Creek, 5th Street in between them. Matanzas Creek now makes his move and takes the lead, quickly putting a half length on 5th Street in second. At the rail, Pop Doro. Havildar is starting to rally on the inside of Hey Brother as they pass the quarter pole and turn for home. Matanzas Creek is the one to beat, has a 3-length lead now. 5th Street trying hard in second. Havildar on the outside, then Hey Brother a 16th to go. Matanzas Creek by 2. At the rail, 5th Street trying to hold second. It will be Matanzas Creek and Frankie Dettori to score by 2. 5th Street second. Shot of Courage will complete the lineup. And they're off. Bad stumble for Indispensable. Somehow Rosario stayed aboard. Bartoldi is going out for the early lead. Let Seamus Go comes away in second. And here's Shot of Courage on the outside, now taking the second spot. Sketchy and Chasing Rain are next, a couple of lengths in front of American Glory, who's 6 lengths off the lead by the stands the first time. Niti is second to last, and Indispensable trails. Into the first turn, and Bartoldi is the leader, has it pretty comfortably by a length and a half. Shot of Courage on the outside, gets a little closer once again in second, and Let Seamus Go in hand, traveling smoothly in third. Sketchy is fourth at this stage, 3 lengths off the lead and tugging a bit, racing 2 in front of Chasing Rain. American Glory, Niti, and Indispensable. Down the backstretch, it's Bartoldi with a narrow advantage. Shot of Courage about a half length back in second. Then Sketchy third on the outside. And at the rail, Let Seamus Go. Let Seamus Go now takes third clearly as they move into the far turn. Chasing Rain and American Glory in the purple colors, 6 off the lead. 2 more back to Niti and another couple to Indispensable. Bartoldi is now called on, trying to sprint. Shot of Courage right with him in second. Then comes Sketchy. Let Seamus Go has saved every inch of ground. Chasing Rain, American Glory. Niti swings to the outside with Indispensable. An 1/8 to go. Bartoldi just in front, a half length. Sketchy up alongside now. Behind them, American Glory is starting to kick in. They're coming to the 16th pole, and Sketchy takes the lead from the back. Here's Niti, and Niti's coming after Sketchy. Sketchy held on narrowly. Niti was flying, and Indispensable might have been best of all, heads up third in front of a battle between American Glory and Bartoldi. McLaren Vale and Super Chief to the outside stall. And they're off in the San Carlos, presented by FanDuel TV. And it was a very sharp beginning for the Chosen Vron. Elwood Blues matches strides with him in the opening furlong, and I'm a Gambler comes out a length back third. Ghost of Midnight is fourth, 3 lengths off the lead. Then Super Chief and McLaren Vale. They have 5/8 of a mile to go, and the Chosen Vron sets the pace, prompted by Elwood Blues, who's comfortable in a neck back second. Ghost of Midnight inches up to grab third in front of I'm a Gambler fourth. Super Chief is 6 lengths off the lead, and McLaren Vale. They head to the 3/8 pole. The Chosen Ron now starting to shake loose. Opens up a length. Elwood Blues fully extended second. Ghost of Midnight inches up at the rail. They're followed by I'm a Gambler in fourth. Super Chief and McLaren Vale. The Chosen Ron turns for home. Well off the rail. Ghost of Midnight takes up the chase on the inside of Elwood Blues. There's an eighth of a mile to go, and the Chosen Ron still loaded. Cruising through the stretch. Ghost of Midnight running a big race along the inside as they pass the 16th pole. The Chosen Vron is simply too strong as he wins the San Carlos Stakes presented by FanDuel TV. Yet another win. That's number 16 in 21 career starts for the Chosen Vron, a legendary Calbred. You're in the gate. And they're off. Gold Council is quick out of the gate. Caribbean King with solid natural speed. And Talos along the rail is up to take a narrow lead. Arrogate Spirit is the gray on the outside. They are followed by My Ransom, who's 5 lengths off the lead. Passed by Circle of Champions, who's in the red colors down on the inside. Circle of Champions in a tight spot just on the inside of Caribbean King, rounding the first turn, having to steady and tap on the brakes. Smooth Salute has 8 lengths to make up, followed by Saint Ignacio. Precision Strike is second to last, and Lahaina Flavor covered up at the back of the field. Down the back stretch, and it's Talos and Jose Valdivia Jr. leading and getting pressed by Gold Council in second. Circle of Champions, Caribbean King are right together, and Arrogate Spirit is in fifth, 4 lengths off the leaders. My Ransom is down at the rail, 3 in front of Smooth Salute. Then Saint Ignacio, 8 lengths off the pace into the far turn. Lahaina Flavor and Precision Strike. Talos and Gold Council head and head rounding the far turn. It's been a good trip for Caribbean King, who's called on now 3 deep. Circle of Champions is down at the rail in fourth. Lahaina Flavor is angling out. He's had a good trip and kicks in with an eighth of a mile to go. Here's Lahaina Flavor let loose on the outside of Caribbean King. These two come to the 16th pole together, and Lahaina Flavor puts his head in front of Caribbean King. It's Lahaina Flavor patiently and perfectly ridden by Umberto Rispoli. Caribbean King was second. Smooth Salute finished third. Gold Council was fourth. The battle for fifth included My Ransom and Precision Strike.
Top of the morning to you, people, at least those of you on the West Coast, and happy St. Patrick's Day. You know, with the name of Francis Richard Scatoni, you would think he'd be a full-blooded Italian, but I found out our seminar guest today is 1/8 Irish, even though he's not wearing any green. Please join me in welcoming to the seminar. His name, Frank Scatoni. Frank, welcome to the seminar. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you, Tom. It's actually today it's Frank O. Scatoni, so
exactly right.
I'm celebrating my 1/8 Irish heritage.
There's a lot to celebrate, including your appearance on the last seminar when you had 7 winners on the 9-race card. We knew multiple people who played the early pick 5, cashed for in excess of $2,000 simply listening to you. Are you going to be able to duplicate that feat?
That was my goal. I stayed up really late last night working the form and watching replays and really getting down and dirty. So we'll see. But, you know, that was a special day. That doesn't happen very often. You know, I do a lot of seminars at Del Mar. I give out a lot of picks. Sometimes you just get hot, you ride the zone, you get in the zone, and you just ride it.
You're a student of the game, Frank, and obviously we have a long-standing relationship. I was the owner, you were the editor of Horse Player magazine for many, many years. But you also co-authored a book called 6 Secrets of Successful Bettors with our friend Peter Fornatelli.
Yep.
You interviewed many professional players in all realms of gambling, not just horse racing. What were some of the takeaways you got from the people that you interviewed in terms of what made them a successful bettor?
You know, Tom, I learned so much from working on that book. I feel like if you walk into a room and you think you're the smartest person in the room, you're the dumbest.
Exactly.
Because
right.
There's always someone in there who's smarter than you. So if you can take anything away from that person, you're giving yourself an advantage. So we interviewed so many really, really sharp players, not just in horse racing, but in all sports gamblers, poker players, blackjack players who have play advantage. The main thing that I take away from that I think about every day, I look at the races and try to play the horses. You got to pick your spots, game selection. You got to find spots where you have an edge, and it's all about value. I can't stress this enough, especially in this day and age where the win markets are very efficient.
Incredibly efficient.
Exactly. So you have to really, really be selective and find those overlays where you have the tiniest little bit of an edge, and then you got to crush them. You got to go hard.
And there's no guarantees that you're going to win. What you're trying to do is find a price that actually exceeds the possibility. And more times than right, when you are right, you're actually going to get value out of that.
That's right. You want to find areas where you think a horse should be 4-1 and that horse is 6-1, or even, you can tilt it the other way. I'm not a big chalk player, but if you think a horse should be even money and that horse is 2-1, that is tremendous value.
That's an interesting story, Frankie, and it bears repeating. How you got introduced to the game? You were in the publishing world. You worked for Simon & Schuster in Midtown Manhattan, and lo and behold, one day you went out to Belmont Park for the very first time, and there was a horse by the name of Editor's Note. You kind of fell in love with the game simply because of you being in the right place at the right time.
Right place, right time. I did a hunch bet on Editor's Note, the first bet I ever made on a horse race. Of course, beginner's luck. I'm throwing $100 bills around when that horse wins.
You're making it rain before it was popular to make it rain.
Exactly. But it also so happened that I was with a group of people, and there was one guy in there who was actually a handicapper. His name was Tom Stansky. I worked with his brother Stan at Doubleday a long, long time ago before I went to Simon & Schuster. And he's sitting there on the train out to Belmont Park, and everyone's drinking.
Was Andy Sterling on the train with you guys? Did you see him?
I didn't see Andy that day. But everyone's drinking, having fun, and this guy's all up in the form. And I'm looking at it, I'm going, what the heck is he doing?
You thought he was a nerd.
I don't know what. I didn't know what. I didn't know what was going on, but I looked over his shoulder and I just see all these numbers and names, and I go, and he talked to me a little bit.
Right.
And I got very interested in that way.
Explain the hieroglyphics.
The hieroglyphics. It's like, the Rosetta Stone. Oh, the key's right here. Everything is in.
All the winners are in there. You just got to find them.
It.
So why continue the passion with the game? Obviously, that was a fun day, and a lot of people have that experience. But why did you go even deeper into the game? Was it just the challenge of picking winners? Was it always trying to learn something new? Was it the ability to make a lot of money by betting a little? What was it about the game that made you pursue it further?
This is funny, Tom. I view this so much as an intellectual passion. Work my brain so much, and I love the intellectual challenge. But what really got me hooked on it was the social aspect, because a buddy of mine, we played softball in Central Park for the Simon & Schuster softball
Back
team.
in
Me
the
and
day.
Pete, yep.
Yeah.
And there was a guy on the team who heard me and Pete just talking about horse racing, just shooting the breeze. And he goes, "Oh, you guys like horse racing? You got to meet my former roommate from college. He's a steeplechase jockey up at Saratoga. His name's Sean Clancy." He goes, "You're going to go up to Saratoga? Call him."
The rest was history.
The rest was history. So Sean kind of took us to the backstretch, I'm a city boy. I walk back there. There's horses walking around. I was hooked. It was so fascinating to me because it was this subculture and world that I knew nothing about. So that's what really, really got me interested, just the characters. So then I started to read a lot about the history of the sport. William Murray, read a lot of his stuff.
Turned out to be a good friend of yours.
That's right. I was very lucky to spend a lot of time with Bill Murray, and he taught me a lot about the game. So it all came together, just from a creative standpoint, a human standpoint, the horses, and then of course just trying to put your money where your mouth is and be right.
But your experience was a lot like mine because I fell in love with the beauty of the game. Similar situation. Went to Arlington Park, a city boy. Couldn't believe the spectacle of the sport. It wasn't about the gambling. The gambling came later.
Yes.
And I think that's how we can attract new fans. We've got the beautiful San Gabriel Mountains behind you, sitting on 300 acres here at Santa Anita Park. People fall in love with the spectacle of the game first, and then the gambling comes later. You just have to be patient, and like you did, kind of find the right people. And Sean Clancy obviously is a very important name in thoroughbred racing right now. He's a very accomplished rider.
Yep.
He loves the game. I know you're still good friends with him. We need more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not socialites, but mentors. We need more mentors to kind of describe the game to those outsiders that don't know anything about us.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who's come to the racetrack, and I've taken them down to the paddock, and they're this far away from the horse, and they're looking, and they're just sucks you right in. And then of course, the gambling part it's what brings us back every single day. But there's something about that first moment when you're at the racetrack and you connect with it. You connect with the horse and the spectacle, all the colors of the silks, the jockeys coming out, the bugler, the post parade. Like it's a great event.
We're going to talk a lot about gambling over the next 30 minutes with Francis Richard Scatoni. But before we do any of that, let's turn the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on today's St. Patrick's Day card here at the Great Race Place.
Good afternoon and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast and the turf course is firm. The rail at 20 feet. Here are the early changes at the Great Race Place. In the first race, scratch number 4, Dancing Mo. There are no changes in race 2. In the third race, we have a blinker note. Fourth race starts the $1 pick 6, and there are no scratches or jockey changes in race number 4. In the fifth, we kick off the all-turf pick 3, which will be offered on races 5, 7, and 9 today. And it's also the start of the late pick 5, scratch number 6, Mas Rapido. Sixth race is named for the Jerry Antonucci Celebration of Life. We welcome those of you who have come today to pay respects to Jerry Antonucci. Scratch number 2, Raising Silver, and the program scratch of number 7. The 7th is the Irish O'Brien. Changes. 8th race will begin the Golden Hour pick 4, combining the last 2 from Santa Anita Park with the final 2 from Golden Gate Fields. And the 9th has the Golden Hour double wager, scratch 6, Midnight Joestar, and scratch number 8, Haywood's Beach. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner. Tom's special guest today is Frank Scatoni.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Frank Scatoni. He's the co-author of the popular book, 6 Secrets of Successful Bettors. You can also find his analysis every single race day at Santita.com, where he analyzes both the Santita late pick 4 as well as the Golden Hour pick 4. I know that's a passion of yours, Frankie, so let's touch upon the Golden Hour pick 4 for a moment. Relatively new wager around just the last couple of years, but extremely popular. It's such a great wager, and it usually pays very well. Yesterday was an exception, but those Golden Gate synthetic races sometimes can be real head scratchers.
I love those races, especially when you get a big full field. I'll give a little trade secret away. start from the outside and go in, because it really favors horses who can make those sweeping moves around the turn, level out, and then ride the outside part of the track all the way to the wire. Golden Gate, yes. And to your point, it is a tremendous wager. It's a $1 minimum. Okay, so you have to be really sharp with your handicapping, otherwise your ticket's going to balloon. And it's low takeout.
Correct.
So a lot of horse players love to complain about everything. So we give them a low takeout wager. Let's go. Let's support it. Let's play it. So
well, let's play today's St. Patrick's Day card here at St. Eno. We kick things off, Frank, in race number 1, where we're sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course. It's a maiden special weight race for fillies and mares. The turf rails today are at 20 feet, and race 1 begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. We've got a field of 7 after the scratch of number 4, Dancing Mo. And to nobody's surprise, although she might not have any ability, the hunch play of the day, number 6, Irish Rose on St. Patrick's Day, is the current 9-5 morning line favorite off a morning line of 8-1. I should say 9-5 current favorite off a morning line of 8-5. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Frankie, 3 runners in this field exit the same race. It was a race here at Santa Anita back on February 18th, and the 3 runners that exit the field in this particular field are number 1, Princess Midnight, the 7-2 original morning line favorite, the 0-for-15 maiden, Strikingly, and also a horse on the outside, number 7, Collectively, who you're going to see in the replay, excuse me, zooms out to a really, unsustainable early lead, and then understandably backs up. Now switches jockeys over to Tony Fresu. But the one I want you to watch breaks from post position number 2 in this replay. It's Princess Midnight under Victor Espinoza. She had a very troubled trip, in my opinion. She stumbled at the start. She improved. She's zigzagging all over the place like a drunken sailor. So let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action and pay attention to the filly that breaks from post position number 2.
And they're off. Awkward start for Orderly Transition. A very quick one for Collectively, who sprints away, leads by a length and a half. Applefest immediately guided off the rail and moves into second. They're followed by a Hot Lava Cake third. Another 2 back to Strikingly and Jennifer's Delight right together, followed by Orderly Transition and Princess Midnight. It's Collectively speeding toward the half-mile pole, and with the pedal to the metal has opened up a 7-length lead. Applefest, Strikingly, Hot Lava Cake, followed by Orderly Transition. Jennifer's Delight in the pink, as Collectively coming back to the field rapidly, and another 2 to Princess Midnight. Midway on the far turn, it's Collectively, whose lead is down to a length and a half. Applefest, Hot Lava Cake on the outside. Strikingly needs racing room at the rail. 2 lengths back to Jennifer's Delight, followed on the outside by Princess Midnight. There at the top of the stretch, a seam open for Strikingly, who takes command, opens up 2. Here comes Jennifer's Delight, though, with a big run. And from the back of the field, Princess Midnight has surfaced late. Jennifer's Delight, Strikingly, Jennifer's Delight goes by, and it will be Jennifer's Delight to win it by a length. Strikingly was second. Princess Midnight third in front of Collectively and Applefest.
Frankie, Princess Midnight usually shows early speed. That day she didn't, because as we indicated, stumbled at the start. Victor did everything he could. He tried to find a running lane, but really couldn't. I know that you like her, but your top selection is actually going to be a 5-year-old first-time starter. Tell us why.
Yeah, we talk about strengths and weaknesses, about picking your spots. Caveat emptor, I am not very good at turf sprints. It's not my strongest suit. And maiden races are tough for me when there's a lot of first-time starters. But what I've learned over the years is when there's a field of horses who have kind of shown what they can do and haven't been able to break their maiden, I pay very close attention to the first-time starters. And here's the thing. Everyone's going to think I'm nuts, but I'm telling you, I've had very, very good success with this angle. 5-year-old first-time starters. If the connections didn't think they could win a race, why would they have kept this horse in training, try to get that horse to the races, do everything they possibly can? We saw it with Mark Latt over the summer, Ghost of Midnight, who just ran second in the stakes race yesterday, the Chosen Brawn. He debuted that horse as a 5-year-old maiden in a cheap claiming race. Nobody took the horse. The horse rattled off all these wins in a row, and now here he is 1 year later as a 6-year-old running in stakes races. So I like number 8, Special Fat Flower. You get Pratt to ride, good post, can just kind of angle over, and I think the one's going to break really well today. If the one breaks really well today, the one's going to be very tough. So that's where I came up with 8-1, and I'm glad you showed that replay because I agree with you. Princess Midnight had a really, really rough journey there, and she tried hard. She still tried.
And to add to what Frank said already about Special Flower as top selection, not only do they debut her as a 5-year-old after keeping her in training, they debut her in a maiden special weight race, and as Frank indicated, they get the riding services of Flavia and Pratt. Let's turn the page, Frank. Take a look at race number 2. Begins the 50-cent early pick for. This time we're sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the main track. $32,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime, a field of 5. Morning line favorite number 2, Thales, off the long layoff for trainer Peter Miller. Antonio Fresu in the saddle. Who'd you like and why in race 2? Who'd you like and why in race 2?
Yeah, these races are a little tricky for me as well. When you have this restricted condition, I typically like to look for horses who are trying something new. So I landed on number 4, Man Overboard. Came off a long layoff last time, just kind of ran evenly in a turf race against slightly cheaper animals. But Mark Latt, who is so good with any kind of horse, he took the horse, claimed it, moved the horse up in class, switches the horse to dirt, which might just be where the horse belongs. The horse broke, the maiden on dirt. So whenever I see a good trainer like Latt, and you'll see this from Sadler all the time, he will take a horse, do something different, because he sees something that he thinks maybe the other trainer hasn't seen. So number 4 was my top pick, and then my second choice was Pat's paddock pick. I think it's really interesting that Hernandez has kind of stuck with this horse ever since he got on him. So he rode through the claim. He's still riding the horse. He obviously likes to ride him. Otherwise, he has his pick of the, choice of the litter here with any horse he wants to ride. Don't worry about the beaten lengths last time because the winner in that race absolutely freaked. This horse tried hard all the way to the wire, never gave up. So I came up with 4-3. I was going to try to beat the morning line favorite, number 2, Thales, just off that long layoff and, dropping in for the tag.
Race number 3, we're back sprinting on the turf course. 6.5 furlongs on the flat turf course for Calbred 3-year-olds, allowance optional claiming types. A good field of 7 here. The morning line favorite, number 4, 2x4, who goes from a route to a sprint. Terrific Tom Seaver. I think he might be a Mets fan. We haven't seen him since the autumn meet. He's 1 for 1 so far. He adds Lasix today. What say you about race 3, Frank?
I'm a Yankee fan, first of all. Let's make that perfectly clear.
I made the ultimate right.
Yankees, Rangers, Knicks, Giants. That's it. That's how it goes. But Tom Seaver was an announcer for the Yankees for a very long time.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
that's interesting.
So I listened to him call a lot of games, and he is my top pick. And, Tom, we do a lot of work. You and I, we talk a lot about the horses. We make notes. We have a note for this horse attributable to Brad Free from the Daily Racing Form. Said this horse hasn't figured it out, but the horse won anyway. So that tells me that this horse still has plenty of upside. I like that D'Amato kind of laid him up, took his time, brings him back in another turf sprint. He was also 8-5 favorite that day. So that tells me that he showed a lot of ability, and I think he's very likely to show it again. So Tom Seaver for the strikeout today to win the race. And then my other pick was number 1, Catman Sue. I thought Catman Sue just ran too good to lose last time. He was very green in the lane. He got nailed at the wire. Not crazy about the rail drawer because, we have another note. The horse was kind of lugging out, had a little bit of issues last time. But if he can stay focused in the lane and get a good trip, I think number 1, Catman Sue is going to be tough also.
An additional comment about Frank's top selection, number 3, Tom Seaver. Longtime Southern California racing fans will recognize the dam Enola Gray, also owned by Nick Alexander. She was tremendous sprinting on the turf course, so certainly it looks like she's passed that on to her progeny. And Frank, before we take a look at race number 4, you mentioned we do a lot of work together, and we do a lot of work behind the scenes on non-racing days. And one of the things we do is spend a lot of time inputting our notes separately into DRF Formulator. You and I both know how fabulous DRF Formulator is to become a successful handicapper, but I want to hear in your own words why it's almost like an essential tool for any serious handicapper.
Yeah, I use 2 things religiously. I use Formulator and I use Optics EQ. Those are my handicapping tools, and I go to war with both of them. DRF Formula is fascinating because, when I was young, I used to be able to remember things. And I know when a horse came back in 3 weeks, I had a good idea of, can't remember things anymore, Tom. We got to put them in the notes, in the database. But not only that, you could get so into the weeds with all the features that they have. You could do pedigree research. You could do all these
trainer angles.
Exactly. I was going to say all these trainer angles with filters and all that kind of stuff. So it's really an incredible platform. But more importantly, to what we do, we're able to put our notes in. So when that horse comes back to run, we see everything. So
and not just trip notes, but paddock notes and other things that we might see. You know, there's just it's your own personalization of the racing form. So when you print it out the next time, it's your customized racing form. You don't just get it off the newsstand. Now it actually helps us remember things that we would have forgotten.
That's right. I mean, you like I just mentioned the Brad Free note. We got that from Brad's column, but we put it in with that horse, so we know that the next time the horse run, Brad Free, who's a very good handicapper, had something good to say about the horse.
And you mentioned Optics EQ, which a lot of handicappers probably are not aware of because that's a relatively new product to the market. But a lot of serious players who I know who play the races professionally use that product. For the audience, just briefly describe the value it brings to the table for you.
Yeah, Optics EQ is brilliant for a couple of reasons. First of all, you know, I'm a pace handicapper, and I used to think that I was really good at it until I started using Optics EQ, and I realized that that is the premium when it comes to pace handicapping. So they plot the horses on a graph so you can kind of see how the race is going to be run, unfold from a pace perspective. But also, again, they have a great team led by John Doyle, who do
former NHC champion.
Exactly.
By the way, best of luck to all the NHC people. For those of you who don't know, I digress for a minute. Hold that thought, Frankie. There were over 700 players that participated in the first 2 days of the National Handicapping Championship at Horseshoe Casino and Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Just the top 10% advanced to today. Yesterday was moving day, so there's 77 players playing today. One of those players, a male or a female, is going to walk away with $800,000. Not a bad payday for 3 days worth of work. You and I have both played in that event. We really enjoy it.
I will tell you this, though, Tom. It's 3 days worth of work, but you earn every penny of it. It is grueling.
It takes you 3 weeks to recover.
Exactly. But you're right. It is so much fun. It's you know, the NHC and the BCBC, I think, are the two best events.
Premier.
And also, you know, the Pegasus World Cup is really good too. That's become a really good tournament.
But John Doyle, the founder of Optics EQ, NHC champion, he is a sharp dude.
Sharp dude. He's got a great team of people who work with him, and they do trip notes, and that's invaluable because, as you know, Tom, there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so much brain power we have. Let other people do the work for you so you can work smarter and more efficiently. So between the pace projection of the race and the trip notes, and you know, I feel like I come to battle with a little bit of an edge. And the other thing about that is John is constantly innovating, trying new things, and the platform just keeps growing and continues to expand. So
long story short, the more you can add to the daily racing form that's not in the daily racing form, that's going to give you an edge pari-mutually over all the other players that are just burying their nose in the racing form.
That's right, Tom. That's why I stand by you in the paddock, because you bring something to the table that nobody else has.
I try. Let's see if we can find a winner in race number 4, which begins the $1 pick 6. This time we're going 2 turns, 1 mile on the main track for maiden claiming 3-year-olds, $32,000 at the claiming tag. Numbers 2, 5, and 6 are all first-time geldings, but the morning lane favorite is down on the rail. Number 4, Ringtone from the Phil Oviedo barn. 6th lifetime start today. Talk to us about race 4, Frank.
Yeah, you know, I thought this was a little tricky, but I thought it was also a good place to maybe try to find a bit of a price. I'm looking at number 3, Audible Silence, 6-1, one of 2 Val Brinkerhoff trainees. This horse might need even, you know, a lower level to graduate, but look at that. I looked at the last race. The horse never really got a shot to win last time, and I thought he ran really well in spots. He was off the pace. He was kind of being wrangled back for no reason. He was finally allowed to run. He made a really, really strong middle move while wide, and that's something you don't see maiden claimers really do. He flattened out like a pancake and had nothing left in the lane, but that showed me that he has the tiniest bit of ability and could possibly surprise in what I think is not a very strong group. And then I was looking at number 6, Gavia. Horse has sprint speed, stretching out. You know, this horse could just make the lead and you know, never look back. It's a pretty big drop too. You know, we started running these maiden optional claimers a couple of years ago here in Southern California. Obviously, they're not as strong as maiden special weights, but they're a lot stronger than maiden claiming races. So to me, that's a little bit of an advantage as well.
Race number 5 begins both the 50-cent late pick 5 and the $3 all turf pick 3, and the good field sizes continue in race number 5, where we have allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 2 other than sprinting 6 furlongs in the turf course. 1 scratch the 6 Mas Rapido, leaves us with a field of 8. The morning lane favorite number 1, Zaffarelli from the Jeff Mullins barn, 5-2 on the morning line. 8 different ways you can go here, Frank. Which way are you going?
Well, you know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Well, that's how I feel about number 2, McKinnon. I keep backing this horse, expecting this horse to recapture his juvenile form. He started off his career super, super talented, looking super classy, and he's just never really trained on. He still has some ability, but he's never really found that next level. Maybe today's the day. Doug O'Neill's a very smart trainer. Finally says, hey, let's try him in a turf sprint. Let's see what he can do. So I was going to go once more onto the breach with number 2, McKinnon. Again, I might be crazy, and after this race, I might say no more, stop. And then the other horse I was going with was number 3, Sharp as Attack. He was sharp as attack last time. I mean, he crushed what I thought was a pretty competitive field of entry-level allowance horses. O'Neill ran him from the tag. He probably didn't think anyone was going to claim him. D'Amato says, nope, I see something, takes the horse, promptly moves the runner to the turf. Horse has 2 wins on the turf, so this horse is versatile, gives D'Amato options, dirt, turf, doesn't matter. But I like that he moves him up in class and he gets Pratt to ride. So I thought that horse was very interesting as well.
2 and 3 in race number 5. One additional comment about Frank's top selection, number 2, McKinnon. You'll see as a 5-year-old starter with 14 lifetime starts, Doug O'Neill decides to add Lasix today for the very first time. Went back in DRF Formulator and looked at Doug O'Neill's stats for the last 5 years, excluding first-time starters. When Doug adds Lasix, he's 22 for 137, which is 16%, which is exactly the statistics you see in the daily racing form. It's not overwhelming, but it's certainly above the average. So it's interesting that he would add Lasix besides cutting him back from a route to a sprint. Race number 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for maiden special weight Calbred, 3-year-old fillies. 2 scratches here. Scratch the 2 Raising Silver and the program scratch of number 7, Chasing Cat. Leaves us with a field of 5. Number 5, Bits Tiger Magic, the first-time starter from the Peter Miller barn, is the 2-1 morning line favorite. Also, if you don't have a program in front of you, this race is named in honor of Jerry Antonucci's celebration of life. His family and friends will be on track today. We talked about Jerry's passing recently. He loved the game. He was actually a mentor of mine as well, and I'm happy to see that on St. Patrick's Day, they're celebrating his life. That's what the Irish do. They don't mourn the death. Right. They celebrate the life, and it's going to be great to see Jerry's friends here. Can you give him a winner for the race named in his honor?
Well, I'm going to try to take on the favorite in here. So let's give a little love and look at number 6, Roberta's Love. We talked about putting notes in Formulator, and, we had something on this horse. So I thought she showed a lot in her debut race. She did things that you don't usually see a young filly do. She didn't have a comfortable journey early. She shrugged that off. She made a nice move. She was wide around the turn. She tried hard all the way to the wire, and we have a note that she galloped out the best. So she should be really fit and ready for that. I do think she needs to be ridden a little more aggressively today, but I'm okay with that. I think she will. And then my second choice will be number 1, Sky Sailing. It's funny, if you look at, there's a bunch of second-time starters in here, and they all ran 53 buyers, but I'm choosing the one that ran the lowest buyer. This horse ran a 30 buyer, but here's what I like. She debuted last summer at Del Mar. Even though she wasn't very competitive, she did run again in spots. I like to see that nice little middle move. I'm not looking for horses who run evenly. I want to see horses who show a little bit of ability. She tired badly. Obviously, something went wrong in that race. She took a long vacation. She comes back with Lasix, blinkers on, and then, Craig Lewis, when he calls on Juan Hernandez, they do really, really good work together. So I thought that horse had a big shot at a nice price.
Race number 7 is our feature race on the card today, and it's the Irish O'Brien Stakes, appropriately named. $100,000 guaranteed for Calbred fillies and mares coming down the hillside turf course. 6.5 furlongs of the distance. We've got a field of 7. Number 4, Chancery Way, is the 2-1 morning line favorite. Chancery Way, as well as 4 other runners in this field, actually exit the same race. It was back on January 13th. It was the Sunshine Millions filly and mare turf sprint coming down the hillside turf course. Because it's such a common race for many of these runners, I wanted to show it, and I wanted to bring your attention to 2 runners. First would be number 4, Chancery Way, the morning line favorite, as I mentioned. She lugs out somewhat badly at the top of the stretch, as you'll see in the replay. Hopefully she's going to be able to mind her manners today, because she just missed by a nose despite those antics. And I also want you to pay attention to the filly breaking from post position number 5. That would be Chismosa. She had a lot of trouble in the lane under Kyle Frey. Last time out she went on the dirt, she actually finished second against Open Company in a grade 2. Now she's back on the turf course running against Calbreds. So make sure you pay attention not only to the leader of the race, Chancery Way, but also Chismosa, who in this replay breaks from post position number 5. Let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action.
They're off in the Sunshine Millions filly and mare turf sprint presented by John Deere. And Chancery Way wastes no time going to the front. Unwritten Code moves clearly into second. Stay and Scam broke well, settles nicely in third. Madiha is down on the inside, and Tam's Little Angel fifth, 7 lengths off the leaders. They are followed by the 2 Roses, Rose Maddox and Rose Dawson, and Chismosa is at the back of the field, 10 lengths front to back, and it's Chancery Way down the hill in charge over Unwritten Code with less than a half mile to go. Madiha close up in third. Stay and Scam is just outside of her. And here's Rose Maddox traveling kindly at the rail fifth, just 3 lengths off the lead and moving up willingly. Chismosa is 3 wide on the outside of Tam's Little Angel and Rose Dawson at the back. Chancery Way floats wide. Rose Maddox takes advantage and pounces coming to the 8th pole. Stay and Scam in the middle of the course. Rose Dawson coming through. Madiha's in some heavy traffic. A 16th to go. Rose Maddox, Chancery Way coming back, and Stay and Scam on the outside. Rose Maddox, Stay and Scam on the outside. Rose Maddox, Stay and Scam, Chancery Way. Rose Maddox, maybe by
Frankie, a wild scramble in the Sunshine Mare Philly and Mare Turf Sprint. That was an exciting race. I expect a similar performance today, but you said hold my beer. You actually like a 5-year-old mare who didn't run in that race. Tell us why and who it is.
Yeah, well, no knock on that race, but a lot of times when you see horses finished in a blanket like that, I'm usually trying to look for someone else. First of all, the downhill races are my absolute favorite. They're just
incredible. What a spectacle.
And then when you see the drone footage of the course, it's magical. So I love it. But my strategy is to look outside in. I go right to the outside horse and I work my way in. And if I see someone I really like there at a good price, I get locked in. Of course, I look at the rest of the field. But I gave number 6, Scary Fast Ride, a really, really big chance here. This horse has a lot of ability. Granted, it's been mostly on dirt, but the horse did debut on turf, which tells me that they thought this horse could be a turf horse. Just so happens that they ran the horse on dirt. The horse won and kept winning. So I like the move back to turf here, actually. But more importantly, I like the post. Horses with tactical speed on the outside over the downhill course have a huge advantage. So this is strictly a trip play for me. I do think all the horses who exit that other race are pretty good. You know, Chancery Way ran a really, really good race there. But like you said, her antics cost her. Rose Maddox, it would be my second choice just because this is just a terrific horse, likes the downhill course, has a really good late kick. And, you know, even though there were 3 on the wire, Rose Maddox is the one who won last time. And just to mention Chismosa, I didn't pick Chismosa, but I really like this horse. I love when you see a small barn have a horse like this and do such good work with it. De Leon has done a tremendous job with Chismosa. I mean, can't really see with my glasses, but it's, you know, how much is the horse won? The horse is
almost $500,000.
$500,000, right? 417.
Not bad for a homebred.
Exactly. So hats off to them. And if that horse won, I will applaud. But I'm going to go with 6, Scary Fast Ride. New face in the crowd.
Race number 8 becomes one of our more popular and favorite wagers, Frankie. It's the $1 golden hour pick 4, and we kick things off in race number 8, going 1 mile on the main track for $25,000 claimers. A field of 6. Number 7, the Bullion Bomber, who's coming back in less than 1 week, is the 2-1 Moyne Line favorite for trainer Doug O'Neill. Career best performance last time going 2 turns. Expect similar results today?
You know, I typically like when O'Neill does that wheelback move. He's really, really good with that. And this horse's last race was super duper sharp, but he had his own way. You know, there was nary a straw in his path. He never got challenged. He just made an easy lead and ran them off their feet. He's not going to get that today. Number 3, Departure, has got a ton of early speed. And actually, Departure is my top pick. I think Departure can sit right off the Bullion Bomber, who, you know, freaked last time and is now wheeling back, like we said, in 7 days. Departure's dropping in class. And, you know, when it comes to 2-speed horses, I always prefer the outside one because the jockey can play some games and do a little race riding and try to intimidate the inside horse. And then, I mean, if Departure doesn't win, really, I think anybody else can win. So for my exactas, though, I was going to use number 6, Midnight Fury. This is the horse who will benefit from a speed duel because he can just sit right off the 2 of them. And if they ding dong and they cancel each other out, this horse will inherit the lead in the stretch and, could possibly win the race.
Race number 9 closes out the day and closes out the week of racing here at Santa Anita, and it offers $5 golden hour daily double wagering, and we're going 1.25 miles on the turf course for allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than 2 scratches. Scratch the 6 and 8 leaves us with a field of 7, the Moyne Line favorite. Number 2, Maltese Falcon, who has 1 career victory that actually came in a stakes race when he broke his maiden. Before we get your thoughts on the nightcap here, Frankie, I want to watch a replay. This is a replay back on February 16th at the inside 3 runners today exit. Both Calm Sea, Maltese Falcon, and the winner Order in Law all exit this replay we're about to watch. There's 2 things I want you to take notice of while watching this replay. Number 1, Calm Sea, if you believe the fraction sets, pretty fast fractions for a 1.25 mile race. 21.88, 46.05, stuck around pretty well till the end. Maybe he'll be able to slow it down today. But the one I really want you to watch is number 2, Maltese Falcon, who breaks from the outside post, is wearing the red silks, will be basically near the back of the pack, and makes a furious rally late with trouble. So let's listen to Frank Mirmay describe the action back on February 16th.
And they're off. Even start. Calm Sea in the center is showing some early foot. On the outside, Malibu Coast comes to engage in second, and Haywood's Beach is not far behind, in between them in third. Having some trouble there is Spagliato. Spagliato in mid-pack settles down now down at the rail. So it's Malibu Coast and Calm Sea coming through the stretch together, 4 in front of Haywood's Beach in third. Then Order in Law, Spagliato at the rail is 9 lengths off the leader. Then he's followed by Allegato, who's well spotted, 4 lengths in front of Maltese Falcon. Then at the back of the field, Resultant second to last, and outside of him, it's Single Track Mind. 15 lengths covers them around the clubhouse turn, and it's Calm Sea uncontested. Calm Sea with less than 6 furlongs to go, speeds clear by 3. Malibu Coast second by the same margin, and then it's Haywood's Beach in third. Order in Law is fourth, 3 lengths clear of Spagliato, inside Allegato. Then it's Maltese Falcon, followed by Resultant and Single Track Mind. They have a half-mile left to go and Calm Sea to catch. Calm Sea by 2.5 over Malibu Coast in second. Haywood's Beach in the green colors inching up willingly in third. Then comes Order in Law. Spagliato has been stride for stride with Allegato, but now Allegato goes by him. Allegato's 6 lengths off the lead, and Maltese Falcon starting to pick it up behind that rival. Single Track Mind and Resultant. Calm Sea left alone on the front end, still in charge by 3 at the top of the stretch. In second is Haywood's Beach, Allegato on the outside. Inside of him, it's Maltese Falcon finishing with a flourish. Final furlong for Calm Sea, Maltese Falcon on the inside, Order and Law. Allegato's behind this group as Order and Law gets to the front late. Order and Law, Maltese Falcon, Order and Law.
Frankie, tight on time. Order in Law won at 37-1. We're not going to get that price today. Who you like in the nightcap?
I'm going to end the day with a bomb. Number 5, Neshoba's Joy. Second off the bench, stretching out for Carla Gaines. This is what she does. She does best. And I think Maltese Falcon is the best horse in the race. If he gets a clean trip, he wins.
A lot of gambling going on, as well as maybe drinking, and we've got one more thing for you to consider as far as gambling. That would be the coast-to-coast wager. Starts with Gulfstream Park Race 9, 2:07 p.m. Pacific time. Yesterday, it paid in excess of $10,000. Make sure you get involved. Frankie, I know you'll be involved. Thanks so much for your time and insight. Always a pleasure doing the seminar with you. Best of luck in all of your pursuits, including doing the great work that you do for SantaAnita.com, doing the Pick 4 and the Golden Hour Pick 4 analysis.
Thank you, Tom. Really appreciate it.
Thanks to all of you as well. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Thanks for watching, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon. Happy St. Patrick's Day and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast. The turf is firm. Rail on the turf at 20 feet. Here are the changes. In the first race, scratch number 4, Dancing Mo. There are no changes in race 2. Scratches or jockey changes in the third. The fourth race is the start of the $1 pick 6. Just the one blinker note. In the fifth race, we kick off the all-turf pick 3. Scratch number 6, Mas Rapido. The fifth also starts the late pick 5. The sixth race named for Jerry Antonucci's Celebration of Life. Scratch 2, Raising Silver. Scratch number 7, Chasing Cat. 2 and 7 are out of the 6th. The 7th is the Irish O'Brien Stakes. No changes. 8th race, the beginning of the Golden Hour pick 4. No scratches or jockey changes. And the 9th starts the Golden Hour double. Scratch 6, Midnight Joestar. And scratch number 8, Haywood's Beach. The Pot of Gold promotion continues next to the fountain, underneath the iconic Santa Anita sign and the big escalator. Head over and you'll have your chance to win anywhere from